Hi everybody, it's Az here from Heel vs Babyface. Now yesterday was the very untidy, I think that's being polite, was the very untidy launch of the new content patch for Hearthstone. Pull up a chair by the hearth! Which sees you enter the story mode of Naxxramas. Now, at the moment, this is not, well, certainly the first week anyway, it's not costing any money to play it. You can simply log on and go away to your heart's content. I don't think I've spent any money on this. I think it's just let me go straight in. And you start off by having to defeat the first 3 bosses on normal mode. And then when you've defeated them on normal mode, then it unlocks a class challenge where you get the Druid and the Rogue class. You have specifically made decks for you, and you have to go back and try and win battles again. And you also have the heroic mode. Now, because of all the new cards which has entered the Naxxramas story mode, custom decks are currently being absolutely torn to pieces. You know, so all these decks which you've spent your time, I was gonna say something like spend all your time constructing and learning. Well, that's just bullshit, isn't it? All these decks which you've gone online, found out which is the cookie cutter, Miracle Rogue deck, Warlock Control deck, and then set up. They're all getting annihilated. No, I wanted to try and do a heroic fight using my control deck. I wanted to see if I could actually do this, and I haven't changed any cards at all. This is your typical Warlock control deck, and I've been munched and munched and munched so far. And yeah, don't let the time in the bottom left fool you. 3:30 in the morning. No, don't be silly. Only no lifers would be filming at past. Okay, yeah, he totally was. Okay, so I decided to try and tackle Anub'Rekhan with my control deck. It was the only one that I felt semi-comfortable trying to do, because the hero powers of the other two are just insane. The Grand Widow, her hero power costs 1, and she fires a missile that deals 1 damage to random around the place per card you have in your hand. So if you try and build up cards, and a Warlock control deck, you like to build up cards, have cards in your hand, she would just crush me, absolutely crush me. And then the final one, which is Mecha Naka Saka Big Spidery, they have a hero ability which costs 0. Yes, it costs 0, their hero ability, and it returns 2 friendly minions back into your hand. So it looks like I'm going to have to construct some sort of spell deck, really, to tackle them. So Anub'Rekhan was my first and bestest opportunity to try and do something. And although I've gone right down in health, I'm on 9 health, and Anub'Rekhan's on 39 out of 45, and his hero ability is to summon a 4/4 Nerubian. And that costs what, 2? So that's pretty cheap. At least I could start to try and build cards up in my hand and have a crack. And like I said, although he's hit me hard to start with, although he's hit me hard to start with, I have now got some momentum. I've now got some momentum going. And it was approximately at this point, I was sort of like, especially when it did the switch over there with the Crazed Alchemist, I was like, oh, no, thank you. That's really good, because now you've given me a hefty taunt to hide behind. 2/8, you know, it's going to take a fair bit to get 8 damage off, especially if I can keep on top of the Nerubians on the other side. I was like, I think I could win this. I legitimately think I can actually win this. So I do a bit of thinking. I mean, okay, it's 3:30 in the morning. I'm really tired. I probably should be sleeping. No, let's rephrase that. I absolutely should be sleeping, but I decide not to. I decide to persevere through. So I'm just trying to think of ways that I can keep that big taunt on the board while keeping a control over the ads that are coming through. The good news as well is not only does he only have a couple of 1/1 spiders out front, yes, he's always going to get a 4/4. He's going to play it all the time, isn't he? But he's only down to 3 cards as well. I know I'm down to none, but my game is all on the board now. This, you know, that's fine for me. That's fine for me. I've got to see exactly what I can do with all of this jazz. But because of these new cards coming out, there's some very nasty ones, like that gargoyle in the middle there, the 1/4. At the beginning of each turn, it will go back up to full health. So if I do any damage on it and it doesn't die, the next round it will just go back up to full. The one that's stealthed at the minute, at the beginning of each round, it gains +1/+1. So in effect, you could keep that stealth, keep it out of the game, and just let it build up and build up and build up and build up, and you won't be able to target it directly. So there's some very nasty stuff here. But, like I said, it's all to me about controlling the Nerubian that he's putting onto the board. This 4/4. If I can just keep control of these big number guys, I mean, with a chance here. Look at Nerubian Egg. That's a horrible one as well. It's a 0/2, but its Death Rattle is to summon in a 4/4 again. These are very, very, very nasty ones. Now, Naxxramas comes into play. Breathe on myself. So I go from 5 back up to 15. And I am ecstatic here. Because I'm thinking, right, all I need to do is knock out that ad there, the middle ad, and then the 5/5 and a 4/4 has to go through one of my taunts. It can't go through them both. Or even if it does manage to go through them both, I'm still going to have Naxxramas, and I can still do a hit this turn. So boom, it goes down to 8. And I'm thinking, it takes out both of my taunts. It doesn't matter. Naxxramas is going to be there. Finish this off. There you go. There's the first one gone. I've got my owl in my hand, the only one I've got, but again, it doesn't matter because it's silence. It can't do anything. It's game over. Bring out the silence, get rid of the taunt, and then I'm just going to go straight through and actually score an Anub'Rekhan heroic victory using a constructed Warlock control deck with no new cards from Naxxramas. So there we go. It can be done. Maybe a little flukily, but it can be done. So I hope you enjoyed the vid. Please do give it a thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook and twitch.tv/Heal vs Babyface for live streaming. And I shall be back with some more stuff. There it is. Whee! Very soon. You take care, everybody. Bye-bye.